I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, June the 29th, 2016. Israeli leaders sent their deepest condolences to Turkey after the deadly terror attack last night in the country that left at least 41 people dead and hundreds wounded. 3 suicide bombers opened fire on passengers in the international terminal at the Ataturk airport in Istanbul before detonating themselves. Israel's President Reuven Rivlin wrote to Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan that this cowardly, murderous act is an example of the most vitriolic hatred, the like of which we are sadly seeing across our region and the entire world today. I take this opportunity, Rivlin said, to welcome the chance to renew our good relationship, especially because our strengthened dialogue will greatly aid in our joint efforts against this threat, and because it sends a strong message to the terrorists that we will stand united against hatred. Rivlin also offered Israel's assistance in the aftermath of the attack. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu condemned the attack and offered Israel's deepest condolences as well. He said all civilized nations must stand together to fight the scourge of terrorism. Earlier yesterday, Israel and Turkey signed a reconciliation agreement after 6 years of strained relations between the two countries. And this afternoon, the deal was approved by Israel's Security Cabinet in a vote of 7-3. Meanwhile, the families of fallen IDF soldiers Lieutenant Hadar Golden and Sergeant Oron Shaul continue to protest outside government offices in Jerusalem against the deal with Turkey. They had urged the government to make the return of the remains of the 2 soldiers who were killed in the war with Gaza in 2014 part of the agreement, arguing that since Turkey has great influence with terror group Hamas, the deal should have been conditioned on Turkey putting pressure on Hamas to release the bodies of their loved ones. A tunnel dug by Jewish prisoners trying to escape from the Nazis was discovered outside of Vilnius, Lithuania. The Israel Antiquities Authority announced the find today. It was made by a team of archaeologists and map makers from Israel, the United States, Canada, and Lithuania in the Ponar Forest. The team used electric resistivity tomography technology to determine the exact location of the tunnel without disturbing remains of the some 100,000 people murdered by the Nazis that are buried there. During the Holocaust, 80 Jewish prisoners were brought in from a nearby concentration camp to clean up and cover up where the bodies of the murdered prisoners had been left in death pits in the forest. Those prisoners, chained together, secretly dug the 100-foot-long tunnel over a 3-month period using only their bare hands and spoons. And on the last night of Passover, April the 15th of 1944, 40 of the prisoners cut their shackles with a nail file and crawled through the tunnel towards escape. They were found out by the Nazis and most were shot and killed, but 11 made it through and survived. The archaeological team that found the tunnel was led by American Jewish history professor Richard Freund of the University of Hartford in Connecticut and Israeli researcher Dr. John Seligman, who said this is a heartwarming testimony to the victory of hope over despair. He said the discovery of the tunnel allows us to not only expose the horrors of the Holocaust, but also the hope for life. The American television series Nova, who helped in the discovery, is planning to screen a documentary on the finding of the tunnel sometime next year. The leaders of the Conference of Presidents of Major American Jewish Organizations lauded the United Automobile, Aerospace, and Agricultural Implement Workers of America, or UAW, for its rejection of anti-Israel resolutions. Chairman Stephen Greenberg and Executive Vice Chairman Malcolm Hoenlein wrote to UAW President Dennis Williams to praise the recent decisions made by the union, rejecting various university-based UAW local unions of graduate students who are promoting and adopting resolutions calling for the boycott, divestment, and sanction against individuals and companies doing business with Israel. The conference leaders wrote that it is our unanimous belief that the notion of BDS credibly espouses discrimination and vilification against Israelis and UAW members who are of Jewish lineage, adding that the action taken by the UAW demonstrates it is at the vanguard of promoting justice and reaffirms the tradition of fairness and staunch opposition to discrimination, which are the bedrock of the American labor movement and our society. And the New Jersey State Assembly passed anti-boycott legislation yesterday. A925 was passed in a bipartisan vote of 69-3. It prohibits investment of pension and annuity funds by the state in companies that boycott Israel or Israeli businesses. The Senate had unanimously passed the similar S1923 bill on May the 10th. This bill now is being sent to New Jersey Governor Chris Christie to sign into law, which will make New Jersey the latest state to stand up against the BDS campaign, which seeks to delegitimize the state of Israel. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, June the 29th, 2016. I'm Teisha Bader.